In today's video, we are going to tell you everything you need to know about filing your BOI report for your LLC. This new law just went into effect January 1st, 2024. And in this video today, we're going to cover who needs to file this form, how you can file faster in future years, and we're going to do a walkthrough of how to file the form online. Make sure that you watch through all the way to the end of the video. We're going to be covering a lot of important timelines on when you need to file based on when your LLC was registered. Okay, so beginning on January 1st, 2024, most entities, including single member LLCs, are required to file this BOI form. This BOI form stands for Beneficial Owners Information, and basically you just have to give the federal government information about the owners of the LLC. So existing entities that were created before January 1st, 2024 will have until January 1st, 2025 to file this BOI form. But entities that were created after January 1st, 2024 will only have 90 days to file this form after the creation of your LLC. And another thing to note that's important is if any changes were to ever occur, you have 30 days to report those changes to the federal government. We'll cover all this in further detail later on in the video. Okay, so why is all this happening? Well, the Corporate Transparency Act, which is part of the Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2020, is why this new law is in effect. The basic purpose of this new form is really just to help shed light on people who are evading taxes and have these shell companies set up in the US and they're sending their money to different countries. Obviously, you should have nothing to be worried about if you're filing everything correctly, and all you have to do is submit this new form, which we'll go over a little bit later. Something else to note is both foreign and domestic LLCs are required to fill out this document. And for a lot of people watching this video, you might be a single member LLC, you are required to fill out this BOI as well. We'll put this chart here where you can see the different entity types and whether they are required to file this BOI form or not. So there are some exceptions to reporting. I don't believe that any of you will fall into this category. I'll list them here, but we won't really talk much about them. It's just certain banks and capital funds are not required to report this, but like I said, very likely for your scenario, you are going to need to file this BOI form. So what is the BOI form? What is it actually reporting to the government? A reporting company must disclose the following things: full legal name and any trade name or doing business as name, complete address including primary street address in the United States, the state or foreign jurisdiction where your entity is created or registered, your tax identification number or TIN. For domestic companies, this is your EIN, and very likely if you're a single member LLC, that will be the case for you. If you're a foreign company without a TIN, you're going to need to provide some type of identification in your foreign jurisdiction. Okay, now for each beneficial owner and company applicant, you'll need the following: full legal name, birthday, complete residential address of the individual. You'll need any identifying number from a non-expired form of identification like a passport or a driver's license, or another form of approved documentation. And for foreign individuals, they'll require a picture of that foreign document as well. Okay, now just getting into the details a little bit about what is a beneficial owner, let's go over that. Just real quick, we'll talk about what they define as a beneficial owner. The first thing is that a beneficial owner directly or indirectly exercises substantial control over the company. The next thing is that they directly or indirectly own or control 25% of the ownership interests. Substantial control means that they directly influence or control the decisions that occur in the company. So some examples of positions that do this obviously are C-suites, board of directors, any person with influence over decisions, and anyone else with substantial control over the company that might not be listed above. There are also some other forms of directly or indirectly exerting control. If you have board representation, voting power, right with financial arrangement, control over intermediary entities, or other contacts acting as nominees. Now we'll define ownership interest as per the federal government. We'll go real quickly through this. I don't want to bore you too much. So this is defined as 25% or more of the ownership interest of the company. This is any stock or equity, any capital profit, any instrument convertible, any put, call, or straddle, or any other instrument. Here are some other examples on the screen of individuals that may indirectly or directly control ownership of the company. I won't go through all these, but screenshot it if you think you need it. Real quickly, we will also outline some of the individuals that are not beneficial owners: a minor child, an individual acting as a nominee on behalf of another individual, an employee, an individual with the right of future inheritance, and a creditor. Okay, last section before we hop right into showing you how to file this report online. Company applicants. Companies created on or after January 1st, 2024 must also include company applicants in addition to beneficial owners. Company applicants include the following: the individual that is responsible for filing and controlling the documents for the company. Companies created or registered before January 1st, 2024 do not need to include company applicants. They are only required to report beneficial owners. Last thing that we'll touch on here before we show you exactly how to file this document online is the FinCen Identifier. So this is actually really cool. Once you submit your application for this FinCen Identifier and you have your number, this basically replaces your requirement to file for that individual. So you can think of this as very similar to a known traveler number or a TSA number. So once you get issued issued that FinCen number, it's great because you can basically just use that as your identification. One thing that's really important, we talked about it earlier, but you need to report any changes within 30 days of them occurring. Okay, now that that's finished, let's jump right into showing you how to file this form. We'll leave the link here so you can click on it or type it into your browser, and it'll bring you to this page here where you can see that it's the BOI e-filing system. Now, we're going to submit it online. I recommend that you just do it online. It's super easy and very simple. Click this button on the bottom left-hand side and it says File BOIR. So you can either file a PDF version or you can just file online. I would just say file it online. It's pretty easy, as you can see in a sec here. Once you click Prepare and Submit, just agree to the warning here, and then it will pop up the BOIR. Sometimes it's called the BOI, sometimes it's called the BOIR. The R just stands for report, but the full name is Beneficial Ownership Information Report. And like I said, you can go online to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network and you can go and check this out on the website. Now you can see filing information. The first question here is type of filing. For us right now, it is initial report. If you were going to file this at a later date and you need to update a prior report, there's a button here as well too. So for the sake of this video, let's just click initial report. And you'll see that the date prepared here is the 4th of January. That's the date today, and that's just going to autofill. Once you're finished with that, you can click next. The next section here is reporting company information, and you can see under this section that says need help, the next question is request to receive FinCen ID. So I'm going to want to click this. Like I said, it'll make filing in future years very easy. It's like a known traveler number or a TSA number. You just use that as your identification. The next question is foreign pooled investment. We'll leave that blank. That doesn't apply to us right now. Now you will be brought to the section that says legal name and alternative names. So the reporting company legal name, I'll go ahead and just type that in here. If you have an alternative name, a trade name, or a doing business as name, you can add that in there as well. And then you can also add an alternate name here if you need to. I'm just going to remove this one because we don't need it. The next section is form of identification, where it's going to ask you to type in your tax identification type. If you click down here, you'll see that there's EIN, Social Security, or ITIN, and then there's foreign as well. So if you have an LLC, you will have an EIN number, and you can just click that. After you've clicked on your tax identification type, you'll want to input your number here. And then if you're in a foreign jurisdiction, it will make you select your country as well. We don't need to do that since we're filing domestically. When you scroll down to question 10, it'll ask you for your country. We'll just put in the US here. Next, it'll ask you your state. So I'll put in California for me. If you have a tribal jurisdiction or formation as well, you can enter that. I don't need it for my case. Keep scrolling down and it will ask you your current US address. I'll write that in right now. Now that I've entered my information here, I'll click next. Question 16, this is very important here. It says existing reporting companies. Do not check this box if your company was registered on or after January 1st, 2024. As you scroll down here, you'll see that there's a company applicant FinCen ID. This is if you already previously have one. I don't right now, so I'm just going to continue. But if you did have it, you can put it in here. Now I can write in my individual's last name and first name here, and my date of birth and middle name as well. If you scroll down, it's going to ask you for your current address. So we will write in if it's a business or residential here. Now that I've filled out my address here, I'm going to scroll down and it's going to ask us for form of identification and issuing jurisdiction. So I'll fill out this information. Identifying document, you can choose between a driver's license, a passport, or a foreign passport. For me, I'll just choose my driver's license. It's going to ask you the country or jurisdiction. So I'm going to choose the United States and then California. And then again, if you have a tribal location or a description, you can insert as well. You need to take a picture of your identifying document. So you can upload a scan or a picture of your passport or your driver's license and insert it here at the bottom. Once you're finished there, you can go ahead and click next. Okay, going back real quick, just one thing I wanted to say. So if you did click the button here for existing company, it's going to wipe this section of company applicant because you don't need to submit it. Like I said, if your business was created before January 1st, 2024, you won't need this. For my case, it was not. So I'm going to need company applicant. But if you clicked it, then this section will disappear. Okay, now going back to the beneficial owner section, it's going to be the same as the company applicant for me, but let's just go ahead and fill this out. This is all the same information. So as you can see, I'm filling it out, but it's basically the same as the company applicant. So let's just go ahead and scroll down to the bottom. We'll do our identifying document type, upload an image, and then we can click next. Now that we're at the final page here, we are going to submit the application. Just go ahead and insert your email, your first and last name, and then click I agree. Now that I have all that information, just click on the bottom here that says I'm a human. You'll have to go through this and select which one are the animal species and then submit your BOIR. Once you submit it, you'll receive an email and then the government will take it from there and get back to you with further information when everything is processed. That is everything you need to know about filing your BOI report or your beneficial ownership information. If you're looking for a company to file your LLC for you and deal with all the headaches so that you don't have to, we highly recommend that you use a company like Northwest Registered Agent. Whether you have your LLC registered or not, Northwest Registered Agent has an amazing registered agent service that is actually free for a year if you sign up to create your LLC with them. Also, for just $9, they will file your BOI report. So if you don't want to have to go go online and deal with this yourself. They will do it for you. That's everything you need to know about filing your BOI report. If you enjoyed the content in this video, please leave us a like and subscribe down below for future content like this. This channel is dedicated to providing entrepreneurs and business owners like yourself with free tutorials and content like this, so stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.